this is Gina. I'm continuing the series for the November Bargain Bead Box 2020. This is the project we will be making with the box in this particular video. And this is what it looks like. It's the little floral tassels with some of the beads that came in the box, and it's a weaving project. So I hope you enjoyed this particular tutorial, and there will be one more after this one for the Bargain Bead Box. Okay, so I have decided to try and do a very simple right angle weave project, incorporating in these little flower tassel things. And I have 4 melon beads left and some of these purple beads, and I have out some 8/0 seed beads and some 11/0 seed beads. These are both Toho. This one is metallic rose gold, and this one is galvanized permanent finish starlight, and it's gold. And then 2 wire guardians, some of the chain that came in the box. I have a few of the 4mm round beads out, and I have a size 10 beading needle and about 4 feet of 8-pound fire line on my size 10 beading needle. And I am going to go ahead and put your needle on your thread on your needle, and just pull a little bit out the end, because we want to kind of work in the middle of the thread as we do this, so that we can work one side and then work the other side. So how I'm going to start this is I am going to pick up a melon bead, and then I'm going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead, then a purple bead, and then an 8/0 seed bead. Let me get my bead mat straightened out. And then a melon bead, and then an 8/0 seed bead, and then a purple bead, and an 8/0 seed bead. Let me show you what I have. And I'm just going to kind of center it on my thread. So I've got a melon bead, an 8/0 seed bead, a purple bead, 8/0 melon, 8/0 purple, 8/0. And now I'm just kind of taking my thread, and I'll take my needle, and I'll just kind of move these to the center of the thread. So I'm just holding this together here and moving this to the center of the thread. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be somewhat centered so that we can use one side for one side of the necklace and this side for the other side of the necklace. Now I'm just taking my working thread, the one that my needle is on, I'm crossing it over the other long side, the tail side, and I am just going to go into this melon bead. I'm sorry, my hands are kind of dirty. I was playing with a little bit of glue, so, you know, I have to wear it. Now, I have come through this melon bead, and I'm just going to sew all the way around all of the beads, now that it's in a circle here. So I'm going to take my needle, go into this 8/0, this purple, and the 8/0, and then just travel all the way around, going through all of my beads. Then up into this 8/0 here, and as I come around, my 2 threads are together, I'm going to tie a knot. Now my threads are long, so it's kind of a pain in the butt, but otherwise this will just keep sliding around and it will drive us crazy. So I'm tying a knot just like that, just a little overhand knot. Take my working thread, loop it, put my tail thread through, and tie a knot. And now I can go, I'm coming out of the knot here, so I have to go into a bead. So I'm going to go into this melon bead right here. Now your thread should be coming out of the melon bead on either side here. And now we are going to pick up, or we're going to go through this 8/0 seed bead, and we're going to pick up 3 8/0s. Let me get that one out, it's silver. Okay, pick up 3 on your needle. You're coming out of this side of the 8/0, you're going to go into the opposite side of the 8/0. These melon beads have big holes, so the 8/0 kind of wants to fall in, just push it out. Now that you've put that in there, go ahead and sew all the way back around it. So you're coming out of this 8-0, go into this one, and just sew all the way back around so we can secure this unit so it's nice and strong. And then we're going to go down through this purple bead here, and then into this 8-0 right here. We are going to pick up 25 11-0 seed beads. Okay, so now I have 25 seed beads on my needle, and I'm just going to drop them down. And then I'm going to pick up an 8-0 seed bead, and I'm going to pick up one of these 4mm round gold beads that came in the box, and I'm going to drop it down. And then I'm going to pick up one of my flowers. I'm just going to go through the loop on the flower here. And then I'm going to go back up through this 4mm seed bead, and then I'm going to go up several of my 11-0s. Now, there's too many on it to go all the way up because your needle isn't long enough. So just go up through several, hold on to them like I'm doing, and pull everything up tight like this. And then find where you came out and travel up the rest of them. So I came out here, I'm going to go back into the rest of my 11-0s. And just make sure that you don't miss any. And then go back up through that 8-0 seed bead. Now you want to make sure that this doesn't have any slack in it, but that it isn't extremely tight either, because if it is, it's not going to hang right. So make sure that your thread is up at the top, because it can get trapped at the bottom. Make sure it's up at the top here, and everything is laying nice. And then you are going to sew up into this 8-0 seed bead right here. And then into this one. Actually, I'm going to back out of that. No, I think that's okay. And then I'm going to go into this one right here. I'm going to get you just a little bit closer. And I am going to pick up, let's see, a purple bead, an 8-0, a melon bead, an 8-0, and a purple bead, just like this. I'm going to drop these down to my work. And then I'm going to come back into this 8-0 seed bead here. And then I'm going to sew around all of these beads so I can pull them into order and make them stronger. So I'm going to sew all the way around. I'm coming out of this 8-0. I'm going to go into this purple one and then go into the 8-0 behind it. Pull it tight, and then continue all the way around into the melon bead, into the 8-0, into the purple bead, and into the 8-0 I'm attaching to. And because these are such big beads, maybe I should, no, that's okay. I was going to sew through them again, but I think it'll be alright. So I'm going to go up into this purple bead and this 8-0 now. And I am going to, let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to go into this melon bead. And then I'm going to pick up I think I will pick up 4 of these. Well, first I'm going to pick up an 8/0, and then I'm going to pick up 4 11/0s. And I'm sorry, I am designing, so I am trying to be clear. I kind of drew myself a pattern, so I'm looking at it, but I haven't actually done it. So just kind of bear with me, okay? Alright, so coming up through this 8/0 seed bead here, and I'm going to pick up, yes, I'm going to pick up this purple bead right here, and then I'm going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead. And then I'm going to get one of my wire guardians, and I'm going to go through one side of the wire guardian. So you can see this wire guardian. You can buy these online. Just come up through one side of it and pull your thread through and place it on top of that 8/0 seed bead. And then go through the other side of the wire guardian, just like this. Put your fingers over the wire guardian and guide your thread down into the little divot that's on top of the wire guardian. And then pick up an 8/0 seed bead. And then go back down into this purple bead right here. And pull it through. Pull it tight. And come through this 8/0 on the bottom here too. Right there. Now, pick up 4 more of your 11/0 seed beads and an 8/0. And then we're going to go back into this melon bead. So we're coming out of this 8/0 here. Going to go back into this melon bead right here. And pull this down. And let's make sure everything is straight and looks good. As we sew back through it, we will get it to look even better, but we need to make sure it looks good at this point. And then we're going to go up through this 8/0 right here, and all 4 of these 11/0s into the 8/0 and the purple bead, and into the 8/0 on top of that purple bead. Right there. Pull through. Go up into your wire guardian here. We back off just slightly because, I don't know if I was even in camera. And then we're going to hop over the top of the wire guardian into that side, the tube of this side, and into the 8/0, into the purple bead, into the 8/0 underneath the purple bead, right there. And pull. Then we're going to go through all 4 of these beads and into the 8/0 right there. And then we're going to go back down into the melon bead, straighten everything out so it looks good. And then I think we're going to knot this side off. So let's see, how do I want to do this? I think we'll go into this side and tighten it one more time. So I'm going out of the melon bead, into this 8/0, into the purple bead, into this 8/0, into the purple bead, into the 8/0 behind it. And then right here, I'll go through the melon bead one more time just because. Straighten everything up. And right here, there is a thread bridge right here. Let's get you close. Right between this 8/0 and the melon bead, and I'm going to put my needle under it, create a circle, and just pull my thread through. Just like that, making a knot. And then I am going to go back up into this melon bead right here. And we can sew through one more time. Let's just sew through these one more time. Just because I have some extra thread and just because. So make it more firm. And once we're done going all the way around, we'll go up through the bead one more time, and we'll just cut the thread off here. Now, put your needle on your other thread. Make sure everything's nice and neat. And this is what you should have so far. It should look like this. And now we're going to put our needle on this side. So go ahead and thread your needle and we'll be back. Okay, so I put my needle on my thread. And now I'm coming out of the melon bead. I'm going to go into this 8/0 right here. And then I'm going to pick up 3 8/0 seed beads. And I'm just going to go back through the opposite side of the 8/0 I'm coming out of, pull these down, and then give them a little tug, and then sew back through them. That's going to make them neat, and it's going to make them stronger. And then I'm going to go down into, I'm coming through the bead I started in, this 8/0, and I'm coming through the purple bead. And then I'm going to go down into this 8/0 here. Okay, kind of straighten this 8/0 out a little bit. Just move it away from that melon bead a little bit so that it's not too curved. Just a little bit. I mean, there's not a lot you can do about it, but a little bit. And then pick up seven 11/0 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8/0, and a big round bead, the 4mm round gold bead from your box. And drop these down. And then, get you a little closer, and then go through your flower. And then go back up through the 4mm round, the 8/0, and all 7 of these beads. And then back into the 8/0 that you started in. You can also go into the purple bead behind it. And pull your needle through. Okay, now straighten out your flower, straighten out your beads, no slack, but not real tight either. Because when you get them too tight, they bunch up and they look weird. So that's what we got. Now I am going to sew up into this 8/0 here, just straight up from the bead that I'm in into this 8/0 right here. See, did I do that on that side? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. So, oh yes, I did. We're good. I did. Now we're going to go up into this top bead right here. And we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did on this side. So we will pick up a purple bead, an 8/0 seed bead, a melon bead, an 8/0 seed bead, and a purple bead, right like that. And then we're going to go into the 8/0 on the opposite side here. pull them into place and sew back around them. So just go into all of them. And if this is a strange design, guys, you may hate it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. This box really was a challenge for me. It really wasn't that inspiring. So I'm just kind of doing what I can here. Now we're going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead, and then we're going to pick up 4 11/0 seed beads, and then an 8/0 seed bead. Look at these big gold guys. And then a purple bead. And drop it down here. Pick up an 8/0 seed bead. Oops, I ran out of 8/0s. Oh, no, I didn't. No, they're just disguised there. And a wire guardian. So again, I'm going to go through one side of the wire guardian like this. I'm going to bring it down to my 8/0. I'm going to hold my thumb over it and go into the other side like this, and then hold my thumb over it and guide my needle down. This wire guardian won't let me through. Okay, that is lovely. So let me grab another wire guardian. Okay, so I got another wire guardian. Sometimes they get a little squashed on one end or something, and I'm also using a size 10 beading needle. And these particular size 10 seem to be bigger than a regular size 10 even, so it's a little hard to pass through. Anyway, I'm coming up through the wire guardian. I am going to go through the other side. I'm going to put my thumb over it and pull my needle through. And then I'm going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead, and I'm going to go back through this purple bead and through the 8/0 underneath it. Like this. That's what it should look like. And then I'm going to pick up 4 11/0 seed beads and an 8/0. Like this. And then I am going to pass through the melon bead. Straighten everything out and sew back through all of these beads just like we did on the other side, exactly the same way. Get everything nice and neat looking. It argues with you a little, but as you sew through it, it'll get nice and neat. If your wire guardian's doing weird things, know that you can always take a pair of your chain nose pliers and kind of open it and close it a little bit to make it stay nicer on your beads. So I could take this one and just close it slightly. And then see how it lays nicer on my beads. So you can do that too. Sew through it and adjust it however you need to adjust it. Tie it off just like I showed you, and we will be right back. Okay, so this is what we have. A little weird, I know. Don't yell at me. But anyway, now I'm just going to attach some chain to the wire guardians, and you can make this whatever length you want to make it. So just put a jump ring on either side, put some chain on, or you can attach your chain directly, but it's such a small chain, it's just easier to put some jump rings on either side. Cut as much as you want, make 2 equal lengths of that, and put jump rings on and put a clasp on the end. I'm going to have to find one of my own clasps because I've already used both of them in the package, so I'm going to find a small gold clasp, and I'll put it all together and come back. I feel like this is getting very long, and I don't feel like you need guidance. I've shown you a billion times, and in this tutorial alone, how to open and close jump rings and put chain on. So we'll just do that on our own and come back and see what it looks like. Okay, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of cute. I like it. I put it on. It's better if you make your chain short enough so that this lays right at the base of your throat. If it's real long, it just kind of loses something. But if this is spread out and this is short enough to lay at the base of your throat, it's pretty nice. I actually need to cut my chain just a little bit shorter. Speaking of chain, I decided to use some rose gold chain that I had on hand instead of the gold chain in the box, because these findings on these little flowers are more of a rose gold color, and I used rose gold seed beads with the gold accents and the gold in the beads and stuff. So I put a gold clasp on and rose gold chain. Of course, you can just use the gold chain that's in the box. It's just fine. I just decided that I kind of liked the rose gold accent better, and then some splashes of the gold. Excuse me, I'm getting the yawns. And so there's another project. Let me get you closer so you can see it. I think it turned out pretty cute.